y'all, I am Dani and welcome back to Summer Skye Gardens. In today's video, I wanted to do something a little different. It is approaching August. It is crazy hot outside. A lot of stuff is starting to die off or die back. Notoriously in the South, this is probably the hardest time of the year to actually be out growing anything. I do have a fair amount that's doing well, but I thought this would be a great time to stay inside the air conditioning and talk to y'all about my favorite flower books. Books that are all about how to grow flowers, how to flower farm, how to make bouquets and arrangements, how to do other crafts with flowers, and just giving you some beautiful inspiration. As always, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments if you have any of these books or if you have some other suggestions for me. So the first books I want to show you guys are really more about basic educational how to grow flowers in general. The first one, which is probably like the most simple, easiest one to start with, is the Flower Gardener's Bible. And I mentioned this in my video, which I will link below, on my favorite just gardening books in general. This one I still enjoy, and like I said, it's great for beginners, has a lot of basic information, kind of goes through specific flowers in general. It has some great plans for types of flower gardens, some ideas of different areas, how to start seeds, how to care for your flowers throughout the year. It is by Lewis and Nancy Hill. There might be a newer version out. I'm not sure, but you can typically get this off of Amazon, Barnes & Noble, most bookstores, but this is a must-have if you're really starting to incorporate flowers into your garden. Now, if you want to take things a step further and really look into heavy-hitting, intensive flower growing, flower farming, and maybe even turning this into a business, then you've got to get The Flower Farmer by Lynn Bazinski. It's an old classic book, tons of wonderful information, a lot of stuff about flowers in general, but a lot of stuff about how to grow a business and start a business with selling flowers or flower farming. So if that's something that you are looking to get into, make sure that you get this on your bookshelf. And then another book just going along the lines of really diving deep into cut flowers, a must-have is Dr. Armitage, Alan Armitage, the Specialty Cut Flowers book. This is the second edition. It is very like cut and dry, to the point. There's some basic sketches, a lot of writing, a ton of very specific detail about every single flower. Let me pull one up here. So like Gladiolus, you know, it talks about propagation, environmental factors to consider, field performance. How does it actually grow? How do you want to plant it? How does it perform in a greenhouse? When do you want to harvest it? What do you do after you harvest it? What are some diseases? And then it also has like different references if you want to read up more about Gladiolus in particular. So this is a must-have if you're really diving down the rabbit hole of cut flowers. And then one of my favorite books, especially for growing here in the South and in Texas, is Wildflowers of Texas. This will probably be useful for most people in the South, but maybe even other parts of the states. It kind of just goes through every single wildflower you're going to see. It has some great pictures, some very basic information. It also describes if there's certain uses for wildflowers. So some of them do make good cut flowers, some of them don't. But if you see anything, you know, out by the roadside, popping up in your yard, then, you know, and you want to check what it is it something that I can potentially use? Is it something that I might want to grow? This is a great book to look into. I'm sure wherever you are, there should be a local wildflower guide. So that would be something I would look into. All right, the next few books that I'm going to mention are kind of going between teaching and being beautiful and inspirational. The first one I'm going to mention, I actually don't have yet, and I should be getting it in a few weeks. It is a book that is coming out by Misha with Farm Lux. I'm going to put a picture right here of the cover, and I will also tag her account below. I'm really excited for her book. She does wonderful photography, and she has had a beautiful farm in Washington, so I'm excited to see what she puts in her book. It's probably going to be full of just beautiful, beautiful, inspirational pictures. The next book I'm going to mention is done by Felicia with Menagerie Farm and Flower, and she is a rose farmer. It is called Growing Wonder. So this book is all about how to grow roses. So it has some very basic information, a ton of beautiful pictures, goes through like her favorite color varieties and just all types of tips and tricks. I will also put a link to her profile below on Instagram because she's a great one to follow and a great book to have if you're interested in growing roses. The next book I'm going to mention is a new one that I just got by Millie Prowse, From Seed to Bloom. This definitely borders the line between providing a lot of education and then providing a lot of inspiration. And there's a ton of stuff in here about actually arranging, using flowers in decoration and making bouquets and arrangements. But the photography, the pictures are just so pretty. You know, if you're looking for inspiration on how to, you know, design with your flowers. And she has a beautiful Instagram account, so I will link her as well below. And then of course, how could I not mention Erin Benzakein with Floret Flower? So I have all three of her books. I don't remember which one came out first. I know the first one that I got was her Discovering Dahlias. I had never grown dahlias, but I followed her and it looked like a beautiful book, and it is. It has a ton of great information, once again, about dahlias. Kind of goes through all the basics and very helpful. It lists all her favorite varieties that they have actually trialed out at their farm. So if you are a dahlia grower, you want to try growing dahlias, this is a must-have book. And then her other two, I think her first book that actually came out was A Year in Flowers. So this is a lot of beautiful inspiration on growing flowers, some techniques for harvesting and use, going through the different seasons, how to make arrangements together, and some of her favorite types of flowers in general to grow. And then diving more into growing cut flowers is her cut flower garden. So these kind of almost go hand in hand. I would read A Year in Flowers first and then go through the cut flower garden, which kind of builds off the other one. As well, I will link her Instagram account. If you're not following her, you have to. And side note, she actually has a show that has been on the Magnolia Network as part of Discovery Plus. The first season was breathtaking, and I'm so excited because they're filming a second season, so I can't wait for it to come out. All right, the last couple of books that I'm going to show you guys are really more inspirational, tons of beautiful pictures, and tons of information on how to use flowers, arrange with them, and decorate them. So the first one is by Frances Palmer, Life in the Studio. So this book, just a ton of beautiful pictures and inspiration, you know, different ways to utilize your flowers, as well as some tips on photography, which I'm always looking for because I am not the best photographer, but just some different tools on how to, I mean, look at this. So pretty. If anything, a wonderful coffee table book, but just giving you tips on how to arrange, how to take beautiful pictures. So make sure you get a copy of this. And then the last one that I'm going to bring up is The Flower Hunter by Lucy Hunter. Look at that cover. So pretty. So kind of the same as the last book. a lot of information on arranging and decorating with flowers and different foliage. Let me find some good pictures. She kind of goes through the different seasons, how to, you know, find flowers, harvest, arrange with them. And I just love looking at these kinds of books to get inspiration and ideas on how to utilize my own flowers. But it's really about like connecting with nature and just bringing the beauty inside to your home. So make sure you get a copy of this as well. All right, so that is it. That's all my favorite books that I've been into lately on how to grow flowers, how to harvest and arrange and use them for decoration. So like I said, if you have any good suggestions for me, make sure you comment below. I will try to link to all these books below so that you can grab you a copy. One other thing I want to mention, if you saw my shirt, All I Need Is More Flowers. This is a new shirt that I got from one of my favorite companies, Nature's Supply Company. I have an affiliate code with them to give you guys 10% off. So I will also link that below. It's a great company that provides apparel and other kinds of goods that are all about gardening and nature, stuff for you, stuff for your kids. And I like them because they take a percentage of the money that they get from sales and donate it to organizations that put back into nature. So things that replenish soil, things that help with clean air and clean water. So they're also doing good work. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. It was kind of short and sweet, but I thought it might be helpful to share some really good books that you might want to get into if you are looking to grow flowers in your garden or start flower farming. And I will see you all next time.